If Bob needs a second body, it's not gonna be mine.
This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Pod Yourself the Wire. Just kidding. ScreenFiles.com and Trailer into Reaction. And what I'm looking at today is a trailer for Humane, which is directed by Caitlin Cronenberg, who is the sister of Brandon Cronenberg, the father being David Cronenberg. And I mentioned nepo-babies when I looked at The Watchers, directed by Ishana Knight Shyamalan, and I think in her case that's perfectly valid, because if you look at her filmography, at least according to IMDb, the first time Ishana Knight Shyamalan turns up is in the art department of a movie called The Holloway Picture. What she actually does in the art department is not specified, but she's in the art department. And suddenly in Old, she is, I believe, producing in the same year. Old, directed by her father. And 1 year later, she's writing and directing episodes of Servant, the Apple television series, also from her father. And in 2024, she has The Watchers, I assume produced by her father. So, let's be honest, she's a nepo baby. She's done virtually nothing, and suddenly she's writing and producing movies. If she weren't the daughter of M. Night Shyamalan, I can almost promise you that wouldn't happen. That's not really the same situation with Caitlin Cronenberg. And that's not to say that nepotism hasn't played a role in her advancement. But the first credit Caitlin Cronenberg has is working as a still photographer in Broken Tulips, a short directed by her brother Brandon. Then, if you look at her credits, she has lots of them, at least 50, but it's all for still photography. And it's important to note that her still photography work is not on only projects that her father or brother have done. Some of them are, like she did Map to the Stars, still photography on that. She did still photography on Possessor, which was by Brandon Cronenberg. So that aspect is there. But conversely, she did still photography on Schitt's Creek, which has nothing to do with the Cronenberg as far as I know. French Exit, which as far as I'm aware has nothing at all to do with the Cronenbergs. So while she hasn't worked as a director prior to Humane, she has been around it for years, if not decades. So she, I would imagine, picks things up along the way, and she builds relationships that aren't related to her family. She's not cruising on that. She's built up a resume beyond that. And that is something that Ishana Knight Shyamalan hasn't done. And that's why I don't call Caitlin Cronenberg a nepo baby. Though as I said, I'm looking at the trailer for Humane, which is described thusly by IMDb. In the wake of an environmental collapse that is forcing humanity to shed 20% of its population, a family dinner erupts into chaos when a father's plan to enlist in the government's new euthanasia program goes horribly awry. It's a euthanasia program. I'm not sure how it cannot go awry. The whole premise is fucking bonkers. So it sounds interesting and potentially like a dark comedy. Well, in my head, it's kind of hilarious. In any case, let's look at the official trailer for Caitlin Cronenberg's Humane.
While we every day bear witness to the catastrophic ecological collapse that is plaguing our planet, we must not forget that this is, above all, a human crisis.
I am in favor of this government doing whatever it takes to win this war.
It's not a war. Wars have opposing sides.
Humanity is the opposing side. We are engaged in nothing less than a life and death struggle against our own extinction.
We are so happy you all joined us tonight for a family dinner.
What is going on?
We've decided to enlist.
What?
She's gone.
Sorry, I can't do it. I will always love you.
Hi, I'm Bob.
Enrico Colatani.
It's them!
Oh, they're early.
You're not gonna like this, but we're here to collect 2 bodies.
I already told you Dawn left.
And that's unfortunate. But the rules are the same for everybody. Think about your lives. I'm sure one of you is gonna realize that it's not all that great.
I know we're family and all, but if Bob needs a second body, it's not gonna be mine.
What are they still doing in the house?
You know, based on my experience in similar situations, I want to say, yeah, killing one another. You think I'm the bad guy, but I'm doing important work to save the planet.
We can get through this, but we have to stick together.
It's been a hell of a night, huh?
Well, that's the trailer for Humane, and as I said, this looks like a comedy. And I mentioned Enrico Colatano earlier, and I mentioned him because he is the most Canadian of actors, which is to say, he's from Canada, and if he turns up in your movie, it's a Canadian movie, as I am pretty certain this is. In any case, this looks like it's potentially a lot of fun. That being said, what I don't quite understand is that why they're trying to kill each other in the trailer. Because based upon a premise, namely that 2 people were supposed to die, and since one of them left, one of them have to die, I don't see how trying to kill each other really benefits anybody, frankly. Because the first scenario, one person dies, you try to kill each other, multiple people can die, which doesn't help anybody. Though, as I said, this looks like a lot of fun. Though, what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer into Reaction. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow. Peace. Have a great weekend.